So, good afternoon, class. Without spending time, let's start with the topic. I may not be visible, but I have put on the things on the board. I tried hard to keep my handwriting nice and tidy. I hope it will get improving day by day. So, let's start. Today's topic is lecture number 19 from Roberts. It's regarding palliation, but I shall be discussing palliation and suppression in comparison, because the very next topic to palliation to be discussed is suppression. So I shall remind you that these topics in the general understanding of homeopathy has been discussed in 6th edition of Organon of Medicine from aphorism number 57 to 72. I request you to please go through it to make your concepts more clear. Here, according to Roberts, to begin with the Roberts concept, you should make the concept clear with the above aphorism mentioned over here. And let's not forget, our motto is basically ideal cure, but then there are certain situations in which Hahnemann had allowed us to do palliation. But palliation should be sticking to the basic concepts of the homeopathy as mentioned in Organon of Medicine. So let's differentiate palliation and suppression here. So both are not cure, both are just the compromising situation. We can palliate, we can compromise by doing palliation, but not at all by doing suppression. But what is the basic difference in between the palliation and suppression is, palliation is temporary relief in the, and slight decrease in the intensity of the symptoms, but there are chances of recurrence, like if you are suffering for tooth pain, toothache, and you are taking a painkiller, then your pain will get managed for few hours, and again you need to take that painkiller again. So this is recurrence. And in suppression, there is no recurrence. Usually it is not uh, observed in suppression. I haven't put it on the board, okay, but you just listen. There is no recurrence of the same group of symptom, because there is a shift of focus. The functions are blocked, discharges are blocked, so symptoms are just getting inside your body. Against the Hering's law of cure, the focus is shifting towards the more important organs. So suppression is a big no-no in case of homeopathy. So there is no recurrence of symptoms, but shift of focus and more important organs are damaged here, and case becomes more and more irreversible here. In case of palliation, it is we can make compromise, but sticking to the law. I think this part is clear with you. So, but there are situations when you need to palliate. So what are those situations? Those situations are like cancer is having very awful associated symptoms, annoying symptoms. Insomnia is very annoying, and any kind of pain, including the surgical traumatic causes. I haven't put over here. Okay, let's understand the few traumatic injuries or puncture injuries. Those things also produce pain. We shall discuss that thing later. Yes, I have mentioned over here. Yes, yes. Mechanical injury. There are set of remedies like arnica and Leventhal, so on. So where were we? So we need to do palliation homeopathically. In other pathies, or even in people who practice both the homeopathy and allopathy, what they say, see, I can't give justice to the present situation, the patient is in a very awful situation, so let's try with antipathy. So that is not allowed. Hahnemann had considered such people as mongrel sects only. Usually what they do, they use narcotics, they use sedatives. So there is a big no-no on behalf of homeopathy, because narcotics and sedatives, they will render the state in more confused way. The situation is left half-deadened. They are having the depressive effects, and they also produce destructive. When they are having depressive effect, we will not get a clear totality, complete totality, right? And when they are producing destructive effect, they will produce the irreversible pathology, and that goes beyond the scope of the homeopathy. I think you understand. So there is a big no-no to narcotics and sedatives. Then what to do in such types of cases? So he had explained with good example. If it is a case of cancer, so Roberts had explained that one case of cancer having troublesome urinary complaints. The case was already on Calcarea car, but the urinary complaints were not fitting into the scenario, the drug picture of Calcarea car. And again the totality was taken, and the second best remedy which was following Calcarea car was causticum, given in 200 potency, and the patient is relieved from that particular urinary tract symptom. Remember that cancer is beyond the scope of homeopathy, so we can provide only palliation. We can only try to keep comfortable. So that patient was again made comfortable by changing the plan, by changing the remedy, right? So that was the kind of thing we do. We take into consideration the most painful, most annoying group of symptoms, and then we select the second best remedy in connection with the first prescription. So that is the case of cancer, the example he explained. Then in case of the insomnia, see, it is not as easy as giving just opium or coffee. Again we need totality here, so we can't violate the law of the similia. We should stick to similia. We should stick to totality in other way, rather than mixing up, giving the mixtures, or shifting to allopathy meanwhile. So insomnia, you should see, I won't put this thing here, okay, I shall try to add over here. When I said that these wrong options will lead the case to confusion, half-dead, depressive and destructive situations, then what this confused picture means? The confused picture means the totality is hampered, and the many associated symptoms will take a back shift, and only one or two symptom will get highlighted. Okay, then that highlighted symptoms will be presented as a presenting complaint. Okay, so it is in such a confused state, in a half-dead manner, in such a depressed state, that only few symptoms are expressed in a pronounced way. But as a homeopath, we should understand these symptoms are for the situation, for the time being, had been expressed in such way. The other totality factors are still there, but they are not pronounced, they are not sound enough. Then it is up to our skill how we take the totality. Okay, so we should search for, in case of insomnia, we should search for the associated factors, whether there is any business worry, whether there are any domestic issues or any thermal. Okay, if patient is feeling too chilly and only by piling of covering he is comfortable and he can sleep, then that becomes the asset of our case. Or if the patient, in what situation is comfortable, if his situation lying supine or on one particular side, if he needs pillow or if he don't need pillow, so such associated thing. If he is having restless fit while sleeping, if you are having teaching of muscles, if he keeps his mouth open, whatever the thing you could observe. Okay, or in if he is having troubles with his sleep in the first half of the night, in the middle of the night, or in the early morning, he just wake up at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. likewise. So these are the differentiating factors we should consider. So there is no need of sedative. You should take insomnia as a pronounced symptom. because case is hampered due to the narcotics or sedatives or whatsoever antipathic treatments. So we are not getting totality. Insomnia is only reflecting as a main symptom, chief complaint, but still totality is it is up to your skill to how to get it out, right? So in cancer, I gave you the example of calcarea carb and causticum. You need to find out if there is a need to change the remedy in the follow will relationship, and you can manage for the time. And again, you can take a case and among second prescription, you can select anything ahead. So in insomnia, I told you. In pain, so in pain, I need to wipe this out. So actually I wanted to get a close picture of this and send to you, but as I don't have time now. So let's start with the pain. So if pain is there and pain is more pronounced, then you need to focus on that pain only. Here you can't take totality because of the narcotics or sedatives, the picture is getting more confused, you will not getting totality. Pain is pronounced, okay, you can focus on that pain, but along with the 4 factors, as you know, location, sensation, modalities, and concomitants. So if you get the perfect totality so far, the complete symptom criteria, you don't need any palliative, you don't need any narcotic, you don't need any painkiller, you don't need any sedative. For time being, you can get out the case of the annoying painful group of symptoms. So this is it. And see, it has been mentioned that mechanical injury is a dynamic thing and it comes from the exterior and it is beyond the scope of homeopathy. But Roberts here have mentioned a list of remedies like traumatic group of remedies like arnica for injuries, like blunt injuries, arnica, symphytum, punctured wounds. He had explained Ledenpal, etc. So there is a set of remedy for this painful group of symptoms mentioned specifically by Roberts. Okay. Then there is another issue when unknowingly you are doing the palliation, that is the alternating symptoms. If you are not good at proper case taking, then you will just ignore the fact that certain drugs are going to produce alternating groups of symptom, and when patient comes to you for his present complaints, and if you are lacking in history taking, you will just take the symptom as told by the patient and you will make a mistake. For example, he had explained that he haven't explained, I am giving you the example. See, Kali Beach, if you have studied the drug picture, it is having alternating symptoms. Likewise, Kali Beach is having respiratory symptoms aggravated in winter, and in summer his respiratory symptoms get well managed anyhow, but he suffer from the skin symptoms, and there are symptoms like prolapse of uterus, or he may suffer from sciatica in heat. Actually, see, this is very contradictory. Generally the sciatica and rheumatic pain, they get aggravated in winter, but here in Kali Beach they are getting aggravated in summer. So this is outstanding. It is also characteristic of Kali Beach. And this alternating phenomenon, if you are not knowing that patient is also having increase of the respiratory troubles in winter, then you will mistakenly give some another remedy. So this is the thing to be, this is the start thing of this lecture particular, that you must be remembering that there is kind of thing called alternating symptom in season wise or even in dates. There is a remission of one group of symptom, there is aggravation of other group of symptoms, so you should consider these things. Okay, I just forgot to mention, in pain also location, sensation, modalities and concomitant are essential. Okay, in location you should also consider the migration, sensation, you know, all the drawing and burning and stitching kind of pain. Concomitants also are, you are well introduced to you. But this is very pretty important, because this is a practical tip you use in practicing homeopathy also, that whether the pain is continued or it is intermittent. Intermittent at what time interval, right? So you should consider all these things. So my blackboard is not enough, so let's revise. Firstly, you should take a recap of aphorism number 57 to 67. Then you should define palliation and suppression. In suppression, the things are